Hi and welcome to Nikki's Kitchen. Today I'll be showing you how to make a chana chaat. So I'm going to start off with making some papdi cases for the chaat. So I've got here 1.5 cups of plain flour, half teaspoon of ajwain, which is carom seeds, half teaspoon of salt, and quarter cup of butter. I've melted my butter, but you can use ghee or you can use oil if you prefer. Now just mix that well. There you go, and now I'm going to use my hands. Now you just want to rub the butter together with the flour, like that. Once it goes all nice and crumbly, just add in some cold water. Now just adding water bit by bit. There you go. And just use your hands just to make a dough. There you go. You want to make sure it's not too soft. Just adding a little bit more water. There you go, so that's almost ready. Just use the back of your hand and just knead it for a couple of minutes. There, like that. So overall I've used about half cup of cold water. There you go, so that's ready, and I'm going to leave that for about 20 minutes before we actually roll it out. So now I'm going to make the pastry cases. My dough is gone nice and soft. I've got some plain flour here. Just sprinkle some on the board. And you just want to roll it out very thin. Just sprinkle a bit more flour on if it starts getting a bit sticky. I'm just going to make it a little bit more thinner because you want the pastry to be nice and crisp. So I've rolled it to this size. Now I'm going to use a cookie cutter. I'm just going to cut them just like that. Now I'm using a bigger tray. I'm using this size tray. You can make them smaller if you prefer. Then all I'm going to do is get a fork, use the back of the fork and just press it down like that, just to give it a nice ring all the way round. There, like that. And then just use a fork and just prick it down. By pricking them down, that should stop it from them puffing up a bit. There you go. Just pop them in the tray. Now these are going to go into the oven, gas mark 200, for about 15 to 20 minutes. So while the pastry cases are baking in the oven, I'm going to get on and make the chana chaat. So I've got here 240 grams of chickpeas that I've boiled. I've used the tinned chickpeas. I boiled them for about 10 minutes in salted water. Got here 250 grams of boiled potatoes, 2 to 3 green chillies chopped, half teaspoon of chaat masala, half teaspoon of salt to taste, half teaspoon of garam masala, and quarter teaspoon of jeera, which is cumin seeds, and then a handful of coriander, half teaspoon of red chilli powder, that is optional, and then just give that a good mix. There you go. You can actually prepare this in advance. You can boil it and have it ready in the fridge. You can use it within 2 days. Just sort of squash it down a bit. not too much, just slightly mush it down. Now I'm going to leave this aside. I'm going to leave it in the fridge so it gets nice and chilled. So the papdi cases are now ready. So I'm going to let them cool down for a good 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. So while the papdi cases are cooling down, I'm just going to make some topping for the chaat. So I've got a cup full of plain yogurt. I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Just going to add in a little bit milk just to thinning it down a bit. You can thin the yogurt to the consistency you like. I'm just going to add in a little bit more. Let's give it a good mix. That should be fine. So I'm going to put that in the fridge so that can get nice and chilled. So once everything is nice and chilled, I'm just going to fill up the pastry cases. I managed to get 8 pastry cases out of that dough. So I've used 4 and I've left 4 for later. I'll just fill them up. I'm going to pour over some yogurt. Now some mint sauce. Some chaat masala. Red onion. I'm just going to add some tamarind sauce on it. And there you have it, your chana chaat, and thank you for watching.